Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, May 20th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick. And we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link's going out now. Perfect. All right. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. So got liquidity up there, 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 there. Go down to the 8-hour. Going down to the 4-hour. Down to the 2-hour. Down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30-minute. Take this one off. Adjust it. Down to the 15-minute. Down to the 10-minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, May 20th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. Market liquidity over here. Closest level below is going to be at 40,123. Closest level above is at 40,181. Going over here to our clean chart, I'm going to mark up 6:30. Mark up 8 o'clock. Go on the 4-hour time frame. Identify structure there. Structure there. Go down to the 1-hour. Looks like we're good. All right, so there goes current price right now. We have the 4-hour resistance above. Going over to our clean chart. I don't believe there's any news today. Yeah, there's not really much news today. This is Fed week, so FOMC is going to be released on Wednesday. We just have the Fed speaking pretty much every day this week. But other than that, we're good to go. So, all right, guys, as you guys can see from the clean chart, we have 4-hour resistance up here. Price is in between 4-hour resistance and 4-hour support, which is way down here. We got a ways to go. We'll leave this as it is. Come back to this a little later once the range has been established, and then we'll go from there. So, all right, guys. Morning, everybody. Looks like for the most part, everyone's here so far. Let's see. Morning, Jacob. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Sadie. Rashida's asking where's the lower level liquidity. Lower level liquidity is going to be right here. It actually just got hit. It's 40,123. So there goes the lower level liquidity right there. Just got hit pre-market. We'll see if it continues to push through here on open. Yeah, it's pushing right through right there. Blasted right through full TP, it looks like. Already. We're on its way down. So there goes liquidity pushing through. And there you go, full TP on the first level of liquidity there. Market is now open. Let's mark this up as the opening price. Opening price right there. Opening price. All right, guys. So market is now open. First level of liquidity down below got hit already, full TP right there. Going back to our clean chart. We're currently in a bearish trend right now. You can see from the pivots, prices below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. So this could be setting up for a sell on the PRB if anybody's looking for that. So you're looking for a wick rejection off the pivots. Price is actually blasting right through it, so maybe not. We still have the bearish trend right now. So we'll see what happens here if price continues to, obviously carry along. So we got the pivots over here. Price is above the pivots. We'll see if price swings back down or if it continues to swing back up. Doesn't really matter as much which direction price goes. Nice. So Nick over here actually got the liquidity. It was in a triple confluence from earlier this morning. Held on to it and went through. So nice work, Nick. All right, so we got price coming back down. We have no PRB yet. Price is coming right back down into the trend. Waiting to see where this ends up going from here. There's no rejection yet, so there's no PRB that's setting up at this moment. Yeah, price just kind of going back and forth. So we have a higher high and a lower low right here. Once we have a new high, I'll mark up structure on the clean chart. So we pretty much have a support and resistance already set up right here. We just need this to establish. Once it establishes, I'll mark up the higher high and the lower low. You guys can see where the market is currently ranging. The ATR is currently at 11 right now, so it's pretty low. Not super low, but it is pretty low. You can see it's below 15. And you can see from this low ATR, price is just kind of consolidating sideways. So this is normal. Anything below a 12 ATR is probably going to signify and indicate that price is going to consolidate. Once it picks up past 12 ATR, you're probably going to see some directional movement. Right now, it's just going back and forth. Not really too much here to work with. All right, so we have the support and resistance pretty much established so far. So we have this right here as the resistance. And we had this as the previous support. So look out for the fake outs over here, guys. Look out for these fake outs that may appear around the support level. All right, so we got the rejection right here. The PRB could be setting up. The thing that you want to look out for, and you can see the ATR is now above 13. This is what I said earlier. I said if the ATR is below 12, it's probably going to be consolidating. If it goes above 12, it's probably going to start moving directional. 15 is where it should be for normal market conditions, but if this stays above 12, it's probably going to continue to move directional. So price broke below the support right here. You can see where price was ranging. And then we'll see when it establishes a new support, if that's going to be the actual support level, or if this is going to be a fake out where it swings back up into the range. Right, either way, it doesn't really matter to us. We are just waiting for some confirmation here. Price is right at the London high right here, this red line. Price might come back down further. Bounce off this and come right back up. So just keep that in mind. There's no PRB here yet. We do have a space consolidation candle right here. So if price pushes back up, rejects off the pivot and comes back down, That could be the PRV if anybody's looking for that. Nick said we're close to the all-time high. I mean, it's pretty far off still right now, Nick. Once we get closer to like maybe the 300s, then okay, maybe we'll mark it up. We're down at like the 4,000, the 40,000, right? That's 300 points. The market here doesn't really move through the 300 points. It'll probably move like, about 100, maybe even less. That's if it comes back up, but odds of it pushing 300 points from like way down here from now until 8, very unlikely. Maybe 100, maybe 150, but not very much. You can see here, this big movement here is only like 75 points. So you basically would need like a big rally for to get that high up there. Yeah, but it's kind of pointless. So if I mark this up here, Nick, like if I do mark it up here, we're never going to see that, right? And if it does push up there, you're going to know it's going to be reaching the all-time high because that's a big push, right? It's going to be past the sessions. So it's unnecessary. In my opinion, it's just unnecessary. There's no need to, like, there's no reason for us to think that price can be way up here within the next hour or so. So if we do get past the sessions, I'll mark it up. But right now it's kind of pointless, right? We're not even close to the upper sessions. So if we get to that point, yeah, we'll maybe think about marking it up. But because the ATR is too low, if the ATR is moving at like 30 points, maybe 25 points, 30 points, then okay, we might see something like that. But I think for us to get that high within now until 8 o'clock, extremely slim. Maybe if we were up here, but we're not. So when you get to that point, we'll cross that bridge when we get to that point. Right now, we're going to focus on what's happening down here. All right, so we got nothing right here. Price is rejecting directly off the sessions, just like we mentioned. So let's see if this bounces off or continues to drop lower. Looks like price is trying to break past it. This is still an area of manipulation right here. All right, so there's no retracement. There's no PRV here yet. I'm looking for this new lower low to be established because once we have that, we can start to find some sort of range between this middle area right here. So the lower low is not established yet, but it will probably be established with due time. It's just a matter of time until it does. But again, today's Monday. As you guys know, the riskiest days to trade are Monday and Friday. Monday because people are re-entering the market from the weekend. So you'll see the market was slow, then it picks up right here because everyone's re-entering the market. A lot of the sellers are still in the market, so they're reactivating their positions. And then Friday, it's risky because people are exiting the market for the weekend. So there's not too many people who hold positions over the weekend because, a lot of stuff can happen. Price can spike, price can gap. And yeah, situations like that they're just a little too risky. So we'll see right here, we have a double body rejection. This is a reversal pattern that we look for here off the lower low. So this could be the possible fake out below the sessions and a pull back into the range here. But we'll see. We tell it to be. And once we have that confirmation, we can go ahead and mark up what we need to mark up. Right now, we're just going to sit tight and wait for some more confirmations here. So looking over here at liquidity, there's not really much lower liquidity here. It's pretty far down. It's down at 39,989. So if we ever get down to the 40,000 mark, that's where we'll probably expect this to maybe reach liquidity. But all right, so I'm going to wait for this lower low here to establish. Once it establishes, meaning once we get a new high here, then I'll mark this up as a new support. And then you guys can see the range a lot better. And just another reminder, guys, I'm tightening up my stop loss a little bit. So I'm doing a 1020 TP stop loss now, not a 1025. I know we initially started at 1030, went down at 1025. Now I'm down at 1020 because of the low volatility in the market. It's just kind of unnecessary to have a wide stop loss, especially due to the previous data that we have from our trades. So I'll keep it at 1020 for right now. So just want to remind you guys, in case you guys are wondering, if you guys want to keep it at 1025 or keep it at 1030, that's fine too. But I'm just telling you guys what I'm personally doing, just to be on the safer side. All right, we don't have a new high yet, but once a new high establishes over here, again, like I said, I'll mark up the support here, and you guys can see where the range is happening. You have them all on 1020. Using 1020 for now. If the ATR picks up, we'll go back to 1025. I'll go to 1030, but for right now, I think 1020 should be okay. Because the ATR typically doesn't go past, I mean, sometimes it doesn't go past 15. It just stays, below 15. Sometimes it doesn't even go past 20 or 25. If it goes past 25, then yeah, you need a wider stop loss. But for the most part, I'll leave it as is right now until the volatility either picks up or goes down. We're getting close to the summer months, so I think the volatility is going to stay below 15 for the next 2-3 months, which is fine. We just adapt with the market. I also changed the pivot parameters. So if you guys haven't updated the pivots, just take the pivots off your chart. You can see the pivots are a lot smoother now, right? So I've updated the pivots here to reflect the new market conditions. The pivots were just going sideways for a while. I've adapted them a little bit to be smoother with the market. So if you guys haven't updated your pivots indicator, just take them off your chart. Just click the X button right here, go to your indicators, go to your invite only scripts, click on K2 pivots, and it'll come back up. It's new colors too. So I took off the yellow so that you don't get that yellow color for the blue pivot anymore. It's now going to come up as blue by default. If you guys missed that message over the weekend. Like I said, I'm always looking for ways to improve our tools here to reflect the current market conditions. And you can see here how the pivots are a lot smoother. So with that said, we do have the lower low here and the new high. So I'm going to mark up the structure here on our clean chart. We've got the lower low here. And you guys can see that this is now going to be the current range below this area. So this was the initial range over here in the middle. That was pre-market and on open. Price broke below, and this is now the new range down here. So things to look out for are the possible fake out below this point. But price is currently at the session, so it's a little tricky. Let's see, Daniel said an MPS hit. So there was an MPS right here, but it was right at the session. So like for me personally, I would have, or depending on which one you guys took, it could have happened right here too. So this was the initial sessions right here, but it actually pulled back to this level right here too, Daniel. So it could have been at either level. So depending if you got in like right here, this could have been an MPS entry. Or if you got it up here, this could have been an MPS entry as well. The only problem with this is that it was right at the session. So a little bit of a tricky move there. All right, so price broke and closed past the support level again here. The thing to look out for here, guys, is the fake out. So whenever price breaks below here, look out for the fake out. You can see how price broke below this point. It's now pushing back up. Look for the possible fake out right here where price came back below, fakes out, and then pulls back into the range. This is a possibility for it to come through. If this doesn't happen, price can continue dropping as well. It doesn't have to fake out, but what I want to tell you is to look out for the fake out just in case. The PRB is currently running right now as well. So let me go back over here to this chart. So you guys can see market open over here at 630. You can see the rejection that started up here. Price pulled down, shot back up. This green candle right here was the PRB entry. So I'm not sure if anybody decided to take that, but this right here is the PRB entry and it already hit TP. It went straight down on this candle here, but it was right at the session, so it's a little tricky. for anybody who's looking to take that PRV, but that was what we were looking for. So I mentioned earlier, I said once price swings back up and rejects off the pivot, that's going to be PRV entry. That would have lined up with the MPS. I mean, depending on what strategy we're looking for, they both could have been conflicts for each other. But I mean, either way, I'm still not looking for anything here yet. I'm looking for that retracement. So I was hoping the buy signal here was going to close. This green candle actually had a buy signal that was pending. So that if it was still pending, I was going to look for it to swing up, come back down, and then provide opportunity here for a momentum divergence. But again, guys, just another reminder for today, since today is Monday, this is a feeler day. So understand how the market's moving today so that you understand how to react to the market for the rest of the week, right? As you can see over here, price isn't really ranging very much, which is a very good sign. We don't want price to range very much. So if price continues to move directional, then we'll expect the market to continue moving directional for the rest of the week. You can see over here, price kind of ranged a little bit, then it had a directional push, and then now it's back into a range. So for tomorrow, this is what you can probably expect. You can expect a possible range on open, look for the directional push in to the upside or the downside, look for another consolidation phase, and then we'll see what happens after this. So after this fake out right here, like I said, to look out for, after this consolidation phase right here, if price continues to move directional, so you can see how price is going sideways right here, broke below, faked out, came back in. After this consolidation phase, look at how market moves. If market moves above or moves below, then when you're trading tomorrow, you can expect something like this to happen, right? The same pattern that just keeps repeating itself. We have consolidation range, breakout, consolidation range, breakout. So for tomorrow, we'll look for the consolidation range. And then if you see a breakout, then obviously, follow the breakout. And that's just part of the game, right? You just have to understand how to adapt with the market. Every week's different. You guys got to remember that. Every week's been slightly different for the past couple months. That's just how the market's currently moving right now. And that's how you adapt with the market. You can't stick to one thing for a month or a couple months because every month or every week, the market kind of changes slightly. So the fake out right here happened just like we anticipated. So as you guys can see, I mentioned, look out for the range here. And if this fakes out, look for price to pull back into the range. And that's exactly what happened here. So with that said, keeping this in mind, on the first breakout, that's probably going to be a real breakout. On the second breakout, that's probably going to be a fake out. So let's keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind for tomorrow because this is probably what's going to happen again tomorrow. This is probably what's going to happen on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we're pushing back up. We finally got that buy signal right there. Price is in between the pivots. There's a couple scenarios here that can happen. Price will probably, so we'll go here to the green chart. Price will probably push up, maybe range between this area. And this is what you want to look out for too. So when price pushes up here, you want to look out for the fake out. So if price fakes out here, you can pretty much anticipate for tomorrow, when you see the first fake out, look for the second fake out, because if that second fake out comes up and it happens right here, then that's probably what's going to happen tomorrow. And if you want to trade within the range, then that's perfectly fine. You can trade at the fake out, right? So you just got to be smart about it. You got to be able to adapt with the market. If the market's faking out twice, think for the fake out tomorrow twice as well. If it doesn't fake out, say for example, price comes up here and doesn't fake out and then it climbs right back up higher. Then in that situation for tomorrow, look for the breakout. Look for the breakout, fake it out, breakout. We should probably keep note of that. I'm gonna put note of that on my notes over here actually. So I'm just gonna put daily notes. So Monday I'm just gonna put different cycles. So we had a range consolidation on open. We had breakout below. Then we had new range established. And I'll put this on the chart later once I have it all together. So we know what to look out for tomorrow. Take out below. Okay, so I'll just put this over here for now, that you guys can kind of have an idea of what I'm looking for. The price is right back at open. So now, back to open. Top range. And I'll just keep updating this so that you guys can see. So here's the breakout that I was talking about. So this is what you want to pay attention to, because from this point here, one of two scenarios is likely to happen. Price is either going to continue climbing, or price is going to fake out right here, and then it's going to come right back down into the range. So look at this right here. You can see we have a double body rejection. If this closes red, this is going to be a double body rejection. That's a reversal pattern, possibly going to pull back into the range. So just look out for the fake out right there. We're over here on the clean chart, or our main chart actually. There's nothing here for us to take at the moment. So we're just going to sit tight and wait a little bit. Yeah, it's going to sit tight and wait a little bit over here. All right, so we're going to see what happens here. We'll see if price continues climbing or if it fakes out and pulls back into the range. So we're getting a strong bullish push over here. The ATR is pretty decent. It's normal right now. It's at 15. It's not super high. It's not super low. It's pretty much normal. But like I said, look out for the possible fake out right here. You can see price is trying to make its way back down. And I'm just putting all this stuff in order. So range consolidation on open, that was right here. Breakout below, new range established. Fake out, pull back into the range, back to open top range. And it looks like we're getting that fake out right there. All right, the volatility is starting to die down again. So it's currently moving. Now it's kind of flat. We might just get consolidation over here. Daniel's asking if the Fed's still speaking. Let's see. He should probably be done by now, almost. So Fed Waller and Fed Barr were speaking at 6 o'clock. It's 6:53 right now. They typically speak for like about 30 minutes to an hour. I'm assuming they both kind of overlap each other. So I would assume that they're done speaking. We have Fed Jefferson speaking at 7:30. So maybe they just wrapped up with the remarks right here, which pushed price up. That could have been the case. I mean, who knows? A lot of things could have happened between that time period. They probably were speaking right here at 6, and they probably dropped price down. So what could have happened right here could have been Fed Barr spoke and he dropped price down. And then Fed Waller spoke and he pushed price right back up. So this could just be manipulation right here. We don't know what they're speaking about with regard to the Fed. The Fed meeting minutes are coming out on Wednesday. So Wednesday, we'll see what they spoke about specifically. But they are speaking right now behind closed doors. So unless there's like some sort of insider information that's coming out right now from their meeting, there's not really much to work with, because it's not publicly broadcasted. Yeah, Brock said Monday is easily becoming a weekly indicator. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've been using Monday for like the past couple, maybe like the past year now. We've been typically using Monday to identify, how the market's going to move for the rest of the week. But I think now that we're actually like taking it seriously and actually taking notes on it, it does benefit a lot, because you can kind of understand where price is at. So I'm going to put this here now. Back to open top range. I'm going to put in my notes and I'll just copy it over here. It's probably easier to copy it. So I'm going to put consolidation. Top range. Let's see, Ken said a MPS hit for a buy. Nice. Yeah. So price swung up right here, retraced and swung back up. I personally wouldn't take it because there's no trend yet, but if you don't want to take the trend, I've looked at MPSs without the trend and they work perfectly fine too. So yeah, Kenneth over here identified the MPS, but it just was without the trend. And it was also at opening price, it looks like. So a couple red flags there, but again, depending on your trading capabilities, if you're able to trade under risky conditions, that's completely fine. Like I said before, all my strategies are just foundational. They're not necessarily, you don't have to follow them by the book. Just understand if you lose a trade, that's because you didn't follow by the book. But if you can always make, your own adaptations to however you feel, depending on how the market's moving. Because I do the same thing. You'll see me make small variations to the strategy. You'll see me sometimes avoid red flags at times. And that's just based off, it's just based off instinct because I've been trading for so long. I can kind of see things that other people can't see. And sometimes you just get a gut feeling, right, to take the entry. So it's all good. Just use my tools as a foundation and then build your own strategies from my tools and my strategies. That's the way that I would recommend you guys learn, so that you're not going to be too dependent on me or too dependent on my strategies, of course. But if you guys want to, that's completely fine. You can depend on what I'm doing because typically it's going to be for the proper reasons. So the ATR is down to 14. It's probably going to drop down to 13. You can see how the market's kind of slowed down a bit. Let's go back to our clean chart. I think our biggest I think our biggest thing here is that price is back in this upper range. So I totally forgot that this was just the upper range area. So I'm going to change that back to open. Upper range consolidation. All right, let me just update this real quick. I mean, price is just in the upper range now. It's not like it's in a random area or a new area. It's just in the upper range. So it looks like price is now just within this range. So it looks like this whole lower push right here was just a huge fake out, right? So price was ranging up here. This is the original range pre-market. Price dropped right here, lured in some sellers, huge fake out right here. And then it came right back into the range. And now it's like so basically what happened here is like this lower area like never happened. So you could just put a big circle right here. If this here like never happened, you can see how price would have technically just continued to range within this area here, right? So the thing to look out for is maybe, and I'm going to put this right here on the notes. I'll put note. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here too so that you guys can see, because this is basically what happened. So I put over here on the note, I said, watch out for large manipulation fake out whipsaw first 30 minutes of open. Because you can see over here from the first 30 minutes, market opened right here. It was just a huge fake out whipsaw. So price came down here, it whipsawed down at this lower end and it shot back into the range. It's like, you could probably just avoid this whole thing here and just look out for the large manipulation fake out whipsaw. That's basically what happened right here. But I'm gonna keep this all in like one big note so that we just know what to look for. I think it's key to have as many notes as possible because it doesn't hurt to like kind of it doesn't hurt to kind of anticipate what's going to happen for tomorrow. Because this is probably what's going to happen again tomorrow. I mean, it depends. We have the Fed speaking again tomorrow morning. We have Fed Barkin, Fed Waller, Fed Williams, Fed Bostic. We have more Fed speakers tomorrow, pre-market. So this whole thing might just happen again. Let's clean this up. I'm going to take this off too. I just like having a clean chart. I'll put this back up towards the end of the session once we have like all of our notes taken. All right, so price is still within this upper range. There's no trend here that's confirmed yet, so we can't really take anything here at the moment. I mean, if price swings back down, then perfectly fine, pulls back into that lower range. We can start to look for some possible sells, but right now, there's just nothing for us to take here. Yeah, exactly. Barack said notes are good journals. I think sometimes equally good. Yeah, and I agree too, 100%. Nick said he wants to push to all-time highs. It's been going at it since last week. Yeah, it's been pushing up for a while last week. I mean, also because sentiment is so far on the sell side. I mean, they've been on the sell side for about like 3 months now, right? For the past 3 months, the shorts have been pretty high. And price has just kind of been going back and forth. If anything, we might get that bullish push on Wednesday. I don't think we're gonna get to that point today, but I think maybe by Wednesday or maybe by the end of the session, who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen later on today. Looking at the news calendar for today, there's not really much going on. Fed Bostic speaking later in the afternoon. But for the most part, the big news happens on Wednesday. We have existing home sales. It's forecasted to be positive, meaning that we're getting into a better market. And then on top of that, we have the FOMC minutes that happen at 11. So all the news happens on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, sort of. So the week might drag on a bit before we get to those news events. There's also no updates here from CNBC. It just shows you that the market's kind of slow right now. There's not too much going on. Little update right here. So stocks are flat to start the week as Dow tries to build a rally above 40,000. Yeah. So I think price is probably just consolidate between this price point. It's going to pretty much range and consolidate within this middle area for a while. Not just this area, but just in general. I think if you zoom out a little bit. So this is the whole range right here. See how this big range? We drew these structures over here, but you can see how price has been ranging between this whole middle area for quite some time. All right, price is now back below the. So it looks like fake outs on both sides. Now that I'm taking a look at this here, guys, I'm going to put that in my notes. I'm going to put fake out in upper range. Back to lower range. So you guys can see there's a lot of fake outs here that are coming up, and this is something to pay attention to because let me just show you guys again. So this was a fake out right here. Price pulled back into the range. Then price pushed up right here. It consolidated, fake out around this area up here, and then just pulled back into the range right here. So, and now it's just kind of consolidating within this middle area. So open right here, consolidation, breakout, fake out, fake out. I mean, this whole area here is still consolidating, so it just might be fake outs on both sides. Fake out, pull back below, fake out, pull back above, fake out, back and forth. So it goes through this area here. The key thing here is that there's just not much of a trend. So you can see over here from the pivots are now going sideways. The trend has kind of shifted down a little bit. It's currently at 13 ATR. Pivots are going sideways. We're gonna wait for this to kind of break out of this area here because we don't want it to go sideways like this. You want price to continuously push up, or we want price to continuously push down, of course. Yeah, let's see. Nick here said trend might establish later in the day as it's been. Yeah, that's typically what's been happening. I mean, I was hoping price had pushed your all-time high. If that was the case, then we'd have a good trend by now, right? But I mean, it looks like, so with the trend over here, it was shifting up. And if it continues to climb up like you were kind of anticipating, Nick, that'd be a good thing for us because if price climbs above here, then we'll have the bullish trend. And then we can possibly look for a buy entry, above this area over here. Of course, the all-time high is still very high up, but as long as we can get above this area right here, maybe catch a trade down here in the middle, maybe get some consolidation here, swing back up, then that'd be beneficial. But I mean, either way, it's just a little tricky where price is currently at right now. I mean, we might even get a momentum divergence for a sell over here, guys. So the trend's actually bearish now, but price is consolidating. So if price continues to climb down from here, we may be able to get a momentum divergence, somewhere down here. Because the divergence is bullish. The trend did shift to bearish. We have a pending buy signal here. If this buy signal closes, forget about it. But I guess let's see. We got this candle has about 15 seconds left on it. If it closes with the buy signal, then I guess never mind. And we'll look for it to swing back up. But if it doesn't, then we might be able to catch it on its way back down. Okay, so the buy signal here closed, but you guys can see here that the pivots can easily be bullish again. So I was looking for the possible sell here. Now I'm looking for the possible buy. So you can kind of see over here as price goes back and forth. This could be setting up for the breakout V3, guys. So if anybody's looking to take the breakout V3, I don't think it's come up yet. So this could be a possible breakout V3 entry right here for a buy. If this closes as a green candle, which it looks like it's going to. I'm not going to take the breakout V3, but I'll be looking for the momentum divergence back up if that becomes the case. Yeah, I'm not going to take it, but this is the breakout V3 that is currently running right now, guys. So I'll just mark this up right here for anybody who's taking it or who's even thinking about taking it. I'll just leave it as is right there. We'll come back and take a look at that a little later. But what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for the continuation. So I'm looking for price to push above these sessions right here. Basically like this. So I'm looking for price to push up, consolidate down a little bit, and then correct right back up. And once you get that correction, that's where I'm going to be looking for my entry. So I will be looking for my entry somewhere around here. Breakout V3 is pushing up in profit. The only problem here that I'd be careful for is the sessions, of course. Again, another area of manipulation right here that makes things a bit more trickier than you'd like. And that's why I don't really like taking the breakouts anymore, because they typically go against my analysis with regard to red flags. 7:09, we still got a lot of time, guys, so just got to sit tight. The ATR is back to 12, so as I said earlier, look out for the ATR. If it drops down a bit, it's probably going to slow down. Nice. So Kenneth over here said the BB3 hit for 1020. Nice work, Kenneth. So Kenneth actually took it there for 20 points, or for 10 points, actually. He just got out with a partial move there. or for the, I guess the regular breakout V3 continuation. You could have taken it as a continuation as well. The only problem is that it would have ended right here at the sessions, but nice work, Kenneth, on catching that. All right, so the BB3 is still running right now. It's almost at its TP. Again, I'm gonna look for that retracement and continuation. But it is pushing up right there. The ATR is back at 13, so that's a good sign. All right, breakout V3 full TP. So if you guys caught that, nice work. Looks like both of the breakouts hit today for full TP. Breakout V3 full TP right there. We also had the PRB entry right here, full TP as well. So 3 entries have come up so far for the day. We haven't taken any official entries, but you guys can see over here, the liquidity push hit full TP, breakout V3 full TP, PRB full TP, and that's about it for right now. So I'm still looking for my momentum divergence. I'm okay with price kind of consolidating right here for a little bit. Let price kind of pull back below. Maybe push up a little bit more. And then I'm okay with it kind of retracing down a little bit. And then continuation right back up. Let's see, Sadie's asking, is that a high-low scalp? So it's not an actual high-low scalp, but it's because you can't have it touch it. So like, for example, right here for the high-low scalp, it has to, like, if this candle broke and closed past it, that would have been a high-low scalp, but it would have been also a red flag, but it touched it. So when it touches it, that invalidates. Actually, no, sorry, I take that back. I was looking at the wrong one, Sadie. I think you're referring to this one up here, right? So this over here actually is a high-low scalp. So this is another confluence that I'd be looking for. You guys can see how the momentum divergence here is shifting. So I would look for, and we already have the high-low scalp marked up, but I would look for the retracement, basically the retracement down a little bit, and then correction back up right here, right? So I wouldn't take the high-low scalp by itself, but I'd look for the retracement to pull back a little bit. Now that's what looks like it's happening right here. And I'll look for it to swing back up because this is going to line up with the momentum divergence. So I just need this to retrace back a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, enough for me to get some, get the confirmation over here of the momentum divergence. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, exactly. Nick said that second one was sketchy, not only on the sessions, but barely closed above. Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't enter it right away. I would look for the momentum divergence. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. So I actually wanted to close down below this line a little bit, maybe like right here. And then from there, I'd look for it to swing back up and close above here, of course. So I'm focusing on the momentum divergence down here. I just want to make sure that we get this opportunity before it gets too close to the higher, to this New York high over here. The New York high right there is pretty close. All right, there goes the retracement that we were looking for. I'm okay with it retracing a little more because I want to have some space there. Okay, perfect. So we have the divergence over here. Now I'm looking for it to swing back up. So I'm okay with it sitting down here for a little bit, but eventually once it swings back up, I'll be looking to take that entry for the buy. I personally would want it to retrace down a little bit further. But it's not there yet. Let's see, Nick said, are you going to take it? It's pretty far from the sessions. That's why I was looking for it to pull down a little bit, Nick. That's why I said I wanted to pull down a little over here so that when we take the entry, I'm looking to take the entry down here. But if it gets too high, I wouldn't take it, of course, because the sessions are there. Because if it pushes any higher, it's going to be too close to the sessions. That's why I was waiting for it to pull back a little more, or just consolidate here a little bit until it gives it some space. Because you can see the divergence here it's not gonna confirm within the next candle or so. So I'm looking for it here to kind of push away. But if it does push up a little bit, let me see. I want to get close enough, but not too close to be able to see this here. Zoom in a little bit. Like I can't even see the divergence here, so I wouldn't even mess with it. I'd have to like literally zoom in super close. So I'm not going to take it right here, guys. Unfortunately, the divergence here it's not clear enough and it still hasn't closed yet. So you can see right there, the divergence still hasn't crossed. Yeah, exactly. No FOMO. So I'm not going to take it. I want it to be super clear. Like I don't want to have to zoom into this to see, okay, is it actually crossing? I want to just be able to look at it and say, okay, this here is a divergence and I'm ready to take it. Because if you look at it from a farther perspective, you can see that it's not really crossed yet. And if you zoom in super, super close, you'll see that it still hasn't confirmed either. So let me take this line off. This is the high-low scalp that was there earlier. It's now touching the session. So this whole area right here is just a tricky area to be trading in right now. Yeah, next I'm going to wait for it to get out of this area. But even if it gets out of this area, it's in the same area again above right here. So it wouldn't make a difference. It would have to get like way above this area over here. Which I mean, it's possible. But yeah, this would have been the decent area right here for us to maybe trade in. But like I said, this thing pushed up too high. I was looking for it to retrace a little bit from this area here, come down, and then come right back up. And then hopefully catch my entry within this middle area, but it just didn't meet my criteria. And also this higher high over here was this would have been a FOMO move for me. If I would have taken the entry right here at this higher high, I would have considered this FOMO because I wasn't even looking at this higher high until way later. So let's see where price goes from here. I mean, there's still not going to be any entries for us right now, guys. Either way, if you wanted to take the divergence over here, this is more of a clear divergence. So this would have been a better candle to enter from. However, it's touching the sessions. So I wouldn't be able to get in from there. All right, let's see. So Nick said check out the daily time frame. Yeah, I mean, price is trying to get to that point, but so here's the thing with this point right here. If price gets near this area, this area would be considered, well, it is a resistance, right? So this whole area here is resistance. You can see over here on our clean chart, I already marked up this resistance. This is the 4-hour resistance point. So this whole area is just tricky now. It's tricky because, yeah, price does want to get above that area, but the problem with that there is that while it tries to get above it, it can easily just bounce off it. And that's what makes it even worse. So here's our clean chart. Let me see my notes real quick. What was the last thing I did? So I said fake out an upper range back to lower range. Fake out in the lower range. So the notes here are basically, so the notes basically what I wrote from here was fake out from upper range back to lower range, fake out in lower range back to upper range. It's basically just a whipsaw. So not a big whipsaw, but fake out, pull back into the upper range over here. now price is going to range within this area. So I think to simplify I'm going to simplify the notes because this is just it's too much information. It's like it's not going to be helpful for us because there's just too much going on. So let me just redo the notes while we analyze this. I'm just going to put like keywords. I'm not going to put like, okay, breakout or whatever. I'm going to put, let's see. So for this upper one right here, I'll put range, put consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout. Okay, so from what I've noticed here, and I'll show you guys real quick. Breakout. It's actually not that complicated how price is currently moving right here. And this is what to look out for tomorrow. Okay, so this is all that I see here. So if I'm looking at this from a bigger perspective, and don't worry, guys, we're not missing out on any entries. There's too many red flags here, so it's not like we're going to miss any trades here. I just want to show you guys what I can see. So for right here, you can see on open, we had consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, right? So that's kind of what to look out for. There's not really much of a rally. It's just a breakout and then it goes back into consolidation. So for the next couple of days for this week, this is better than having what I had earlier because I had the notes were just too specific, but you can see it's pretty obvious right here now. So we have consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout. And then now we're having another consolidation right here, right? So what do you think is going to happen after this consolidation? Breakout, right? So you look for the breakout to the downside, or you look for the breakout to the upside. So with that said, now that we have this kind of set up, we can probably look for, we can just look for divergence in between. Like we don't have to trade, we don't have to look for like the rallies because the rallies are probably not going to happen. Like for example, here, this is just a breakout. Like when you go back over here to our clean chart, so you guys can kind of see right here, we had a sell signal, right? Price consolidated and broke out below. When we had there was a momentum divergence right here. We could have taken this for a quick 10 points, the downside, right? And then same situation over here, price consolidated, broke out above right here. Instead of waiting for it, I mean, I guess we technically could have, there's no entry here for momentum divergence. But again, right here, another consolidation, when it broke out above here, we could have got in for another divergence whenever it came up, but there was just no divergences, no divergence that came up here. The only divergence that actually came up was right here on open. So market open right here. We already had the sell signal, consolidation, and there was one divergence that happened right here. Otherwise, there was no other divergences that came up over here. Price broke out this way, but it never retraced and shot back up. Same with this over here, consolidated, pushed up right here, but it never really came back up. It came back up right here, but it was at the sessions. So obviously, not good for us to trade around. Hey, William, morning. So back to our clean chart here, you can see price is now still consolidating within this little area. So we don't even need the notes, honestly. We'll just look at consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout. Price is now in consolidation right here. So it's probably going to break out. So here's the thing. If we have the breakout below, and I'm just saying this because we probably don't need the trend. So you know how we're looking out for the trend, like pretty much every time? We probably don't need the trend. We just need to look for the breakout. Price is consolidating within this middle area right here. We have a sell signal. The trend is still bullish, but what could happen here is price will come down a little bit, retrace, come back down. There'll probably be a momentum divergence down here. And you can maybe take that for a small trade if you wanted to. I'm going to do my analysis. I don't know if I'll take it, but if this becomes the case, and this might be what we'll be looking for this week, because I don't think there's going to be enough movement here for us to actually catch the trend shift, right? The trend shift over here it's too slow. So we'll see. Or if price pushes bullish, then that's fine because this is going to be in our favor. So if price ends up consolidating within this area, and then we get a buy signal that starts climbing higher, above opening, above sessions right here, then great, because we'll look for that to retrace down a little bit and shoot back up. And then from that point, we'll have divergence down here for a buy. So, I mean, either way, whether it's a sell or whether it's a buy, obviously, I'd rather trade in the direction of the trend. But if this is the type of market that we're dealing with, obviously, we have to adapt with the market, or else you're just not going to have anything. So preferably, I'd be looking for a buy here. I mean, if anything, we might have a shift in trend, but you guys can see how these candles are moving very slow. This goes hand in hand with the ATR. The ATR is currently at 11 right now. If you guys remembered from what I said earlier this morning, I said if the ATR goes below 12 or below 13, it's probably just going to be consolidating. You don't even have to look at the chart. You just look at the ATR, you see that it's below 12 right now, and look what price is doing, consolidating. So it's no surprise. So key factors that we'll be looking at would be like something like the ATR. ATR is now down at 10. It's even lower. Yeah, that's super low. This is going to be frustrating because we've been dealing with summer months for the past 3 months now. There's maybe been like 1 or 2 days where there's been some volatility, but for the most part, it feels like we've been trading in summer for the past, like since February. The ATR has been super low. I'm glad that I introduced the ATR to you guys because now that you guys can see it, it's a lot more obvious, right? You guys know where the sweet spot ATR is at. You know when the ATR is high, you know when the ATR is low. So when the ATR is super low like this just pretty much tells you that the market's going to range and consolidate for a bit. It might pick up in a little bit, but for the most part right now, it's currently in a range. So just sit tight, guys. Don't force any trades. My analysis that I mentioned earlier might play through with regard to the divergence, but again, today's just Monday. So if you don't see anything today, there's no need to force anything. Just wait until tomorrow because now we kind of have the framework for the week, right? Consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout. That's what we can look out for moving forward for the rest of the week, of course. It's another case of the Mondays. Slow Monday. All right, let's see if price ends up finally moving out of this area. We just want price to break out of this consolidation, right? That's the main thing that we're looking for. We don't care if it goes up. We don't care if it goes down. The main thing is that we want it to break out of the consolidation because it's going to follow with the framework that we've just identified for today. Consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation. What's next? Breakout. So I don't care where it breaks out to. It needs to break out below, break out above, but I'm going to try to catch something within that breakout, preferably a bullish breakout. You can see over here, price starting to climb back up. We might get a buy signal at some point. Okay, perfect. So we got that buy signal right there. That's pending. I like that because we might be able to trade within this area here. So what we can get here and what I'm looking for is this buy signal to close. I want it to climb up a little bit, maybe consolidate around this upper area, retrace, come back up right here, and then hopefully have enough space to catch a quick little scalp right there, right? There's a possibility. If not, I'm fine. Price will push up a little higher. Look for the same thing up here. All right. We got that buy signal I was looking for. Let's see if price is preparing for that breakout that we just discussed. Man, the ATR is super low right now, and it's not really moving very much. See if it picks back up. I'd like it to be around like 12 at least. I mean, 10 ATR is okay, but anything below 10 is just like flat market. There's a couple different entries here that are coming up. So there's a high-low scalp that's happening over this higher high. The only problem is that it's touching the session. So obviously I'm not going to mess with it, but there is a possible high-low scalp. There's a possible breakout V3 continuation. The only problem is the sessions. and the session. So if you're to take an entry on this area right here, you're basically in a session sandwich, right? You are in a session sandwich right here. If anybody wanted to take it, that like I said, there's two different entries that came up. This is a pretty nice confluence. I personally wouldn't take it because it's within a session sandwich here. Yeah, it's just too. So what I would do here is I would continue to watch this. I'm not in this position. I'll continue to watch this because if we get some consolidation right here, we might get a momentum divergence, right? So you might get a retracement, and then it might just swing right back up and actually push through. If I get something like that, then okay, I'll enter it for a late entry. The divergence here is pretty wide, so I don't think we're going to be able to get that. I don't think we're going to get enough push for us to actually have a retracement for the divergence here to switch. But that's what I'm going to be looking for. There's a lot of good confluences here, though. The only problem is that it's within a session sandwich. Like I said, I just wouldn't mess with this here unless I have a better confluence of like divergence. But the divergence is already bullish. Yeah. Also, and Sadie said and shit ATR. That's also. There's just too many things here. If the ATR was high, I would be okay with it because it would just shoot to TP, right? You wouldn't get this consolidation here. If the ATR was say about 15, 17 right now, price would just spike to TP, how it should be. That's what these scalps are about. You're supposed to get in and out super quickly. You're not supposed to be holding on to these scalps for like 10, 20 minutes. But you'll see over here that happens very often, unfortunately. You know, holding on to a scalp more than 5 minutes is holding on to a scalp for more than 5 minutes is pretty much, it turns into a day trade at that point. Because once you pass the 5 minute mark, you're probably gonna be holding on to that trade for like 10, 20 minutes. And at that point, it's literally a day trade. Okay, so we're getting the thing that I was just talking about right here, guys. Look. So you guys can see over here the divergence is coming back down. If it swings below and it swings back up, then I will possibly take this for a late entry. I know the TP is right at the sessions, but if I get that pattern that I'm looking for right here, what I'm expecting is I'm expecting price to maybe consolidate here for a little bit, and then it's going to just shoot up and touch the sessions. So I would be okay to take that because I'll be watching it. So as soon as it touches it, I'll just exit manually if I have to. Right. But again, I don't know if this will happen. This is, I would consider this a long shot because you can see over here that it's just not confirming yet. So until it confirms, there's not really anything here for us to play with. So just got to be patient, guys. Today's Monday. You know, we got a whole week ahead of us still. We got a whole week ahead of us. So again, right here, price is now consolidating sideways. I mean, it's pretty much doing what I was expecting. I would want it to retrace down a little more though. So I want the retracement to come down a little more to this point, maybe. And I only want that because I want more space. So I want more space to take my entry. I actually want to enter like a little lower so that I don't have to get to the sessions up here. Okay, so we have the divergence over here, shifted below. We need basically a red candle here to close to confirm that divergence or convergence, whatever you guys want to call it. Divergence in trading is kind of just when it diverges either direction. But if you want to, I think Brian mentioned this, he's like, you should just call it convergence. Because technically if you're identifying this in science terms, right? If it comes below convergence, goes above divergence, but we'll call it divergence. All right, so it hasn't come down yet. I mean, it's come down, but the price hasn't come down. This is too high. If the entry comes up anywhere above, like where it's already in profit, I'm not going to take it because it's going to have to blast through the opening price. I mean, the sessions right here. And that's going to be past my red flag. It's already be past my criteria. So like I said, I was hoping price would come down a little further, and maybe down here, and then bounce off the sessions, and then provide us opportunity to enter like down here. And that'd be, you know, ideally, that's kind of what I'd be looking for. But again, guys, just a heads up, if you guys are just looking here, I'm not in this position. I'm looking for my confluences here to line up. I mean, if we get a sell signal there, that's kind of screwed at that point. I'm not even, there's not going to be any opportunity anymore. So let's see what we got here. I want it to come down, but I don't want a sell signal. It's kind of what we're waiting for here. Veniscus is asking, can you look at gold? I don't trade gold, so I'm not going to look at gold. Maybe at the end of the session, if you're still here, Veniscus, we can take a look. But I don't trade gold, so I'm not going to look at it during the live session. We're still trading YM right now. So if you want to hang out towards the end, just let me know and chime in to say that you're still here, and I'll take a look at it. But we're not going to look at it during the live session. Brock said indecision galore, 3 candles back to back. Yeah, exactly. A lot of indecision here. There's no confirmation of direction. There's no confirmation of, I mean, there's just no movement here. So you guys can see from the ATR, it's now below 10. It's at 9 ATR. And you can see without even looking at the chart, that price is literally going to go sideways for a bit. Which again is fine with me. If we don't have any entries today, I'm not going to force any entries. I'm going to wait for what I'm looking for. Maybe volatility pick up towards the end. But yeah, there's just no volatility here. So this is what I mean about, like, you don't want to get into a position where you're getting into a scalp, but then you're just holding on to this position for God knows how long, right? Like, this is not a scalp anymore. A scalp is supposed to be in and out within a few seconds, a few minutes. This is 5 minutes in. So at this point, you're kind of tossing the coin. If you're in a scalp and you're holding a position more than 5 minutes, you're kind of taking a gamble here because price can easily go up to your TP or can easily come down super hard. So yeah, I mean, at this point, this thing is, I mean, it looks like it's just going to stay flat. So price is coming back down below right here. Again, we don't want the sell signal. I want the volatility pickup, but I don't want the sell signal. David said, I guess also yesterday's news with Iran are also adding uncertainty to the market. Yeah, I agree. You know, that'd be World War III breaking off, whoever takes over the country. Yeah, it's a lot of craziness going on in the world. So yeah, if you guys didn't hear about that, the Iran's officials, they pretty much died in a helicopter accident yesterday. And after seeing all these things, I'm like kind of scared to get on a helicopter now. Well, I mean, I guess if you're gonna fly in like mountain regions, like Kobe passed in a helicopter, now the Iranian officials passed in a helicopter. It's crazy. But then again, they all passed like in areas that like the crashes happened in like mountainous areas. So again, it's kind of scary. All right, so looking at this right here, guys, we are seeing what's going on here. So again, price is pushing back down. The volatility is picking up a little bit. We don't want the sell signal. It's going to close. Yeah. So unfortunately, guys, I'm just going to take this off because I'm not in that position. But the whole setup that I was looking for, it's pretty much obsolete at this point. So I mean, there's nothing for us to work with here. Let me go here real quick. Price is still in the resistance. I was going to draw a new resistance, but the resistance is already there. This is the 4-hour resistance. So going back to what I was just talking about earlier, guys, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, etc. Price is still in this consolidation. Now, this is an extremely long consolidation. You guys can see from the consolidation earlier, it didn't really last this long. So we had a few candles here, or I guess pre-market it consolidated and it broke out. Down here, price consolidated for about 10 minutes, broke out. Consolidated right here for about 20 minutes, broke out. Now this has been consolidating here for about 30 minutes. So, sorry, 1 second. All right, cool. So, yeah, like I said over here, the this consolidation is lasting a lot longer than the others. So let's just look at the pre-market. I mean, obviously the pre-market's going to consolidate for a while. Well, let's just kind of see. So the consolidation happened like from probably this candle. Pre-market consolidation happened for about 30 to 40 minutes. It broke below, consolidated for about 5 minutes, broke below, 10 minutes, broke above 20 minutes. So it looks like it's kind of doubling with time here. Because it went from 20, now this is 30. Now it's now again it's at the resistance. It's not really too much going on here. So we might get this entry kind of later towards the session. So we have a buy signal here. Now I'm going to look for hopefully some volatility pickup, push above it, come back down, and then push back up from there. So that from that point I can take my buy, right? At this moment right here, we just don't have much to work with. The volatility is still very low at 9 ATR. I was hoping to pick up with this bigger candle, but still pretty flat. We want the ATR to pick up above 10. Above 10, ideally above 12. But again, we'll just see what happens here as price continues to move along here. Let's see. So Jay said divergence is actually the correct term. Convergence is when the line crosses that are temporarily the same value. Divergence is when they spread apart to be different values. I knew that was the case, right, Jay? That sounds right. Brian just kind of mentioned it the other way. Again, Brian is a scientist, so I don't think he really relates to it as trading. He's a dentist, so he kind of relates to this stuff in science terms. So I knew that just didn't make sense. When he mentioned it, I know he was joking, but it just didn't make sense to me because I've never heard anybody use the term convergence with trading when you know the price splits. So yeah, thanks Jake for the heads up. I knew we were wrong. I know we were wrong on that. And makes sense. All right, so the top level of liquidity over here, guys. I don't know if anybody caught these. Nathan just mentioned it. These upper levels over here. Got hit. So that first level right there got hit. And there was another level right here that just got hit. And the third level is currently pending right now. Barack said, yeah, I guess toots converge and diverge, I guess. Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I'm no dentist. So let's see, we got this right here. Let's try to update CNBC to see if there's any updates. No updates from CNBC, so I'm not really seeing any catalyst here to push price anywhere. All right, so price continues to climb up higher. You might have an opportunity here last minute as we get closer to 8 o'clock. It's 7:40 right now, but I'll hang out a little longer. It is 7:40, but I'll hang out close. Sorry, guys. Yeah, 1 second. And this weather here sucks too. It's like everything's kind of weird about this year, right? The weather is super like, well, I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but the weather here in California, it's usually really hot by now. It's hot by like February or warm by February at least, and it gets hot by March. It's like been cloudy all for the past 3 months, just like how it's been here in the market. So I kind of relate the the market with like the weather. I don't know if you guys have ever thought about that before. Like whenever the weather is kind of like down and gloomy, market's usually kind of slow. Well, not down and gloomy like during the winter, but like around summertime or springtime. I'm pretty sure there's no correlation to it, but yeah, today's super cloudy here, and the market looks super cloudy as well. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at Moon. Is he secure? Yeah, Sisu's here. uh, what is it called? Moon sessions. There was a guy in the group here a long time ago that used to trade off moon sessions. There's even an indicator for it. It's called moon phases. It's a legit indicator. Like depending on how the moon's moving, that's how like one of a guy that used to trade in here, he used to he would depend he would only trade bullish or bearish depending if on like what the moon phases were. If we're in a full moon, a half moon, a quarter moon, whatever it was. There's I mean there's a trading strategy for that, trading in moon phases. I don't know. There's so many different ways to trade, but and again, I'm never gonna shit on anybody's way to trade. Like there's so many ways to trade. As long as it's profitable, then great. But if it's not profitable and you're pushing it onto people, then that's where it's gonna be a problem, right? Then I'm gonna call the person out on whatever he's teaching. Um, but yeah, for the most part, as long as you're profitable and it works, it's great. But if it's not profitable and you're still trying to push it, it's something else. Let's see. Tom said, I know a dude who's making money a lot, mostly based on Mercury retrograde, whatever works, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you find an edge, if you could find an edge in the market, whatever it may be, use it. But if you think you found an edge and it doesn't actually work, don't share it. Because that's kind of what happens in the trading space. Like there's a lot of new traders who kind of reached out to me or who have joined our group. And they're like in other groups where it's a group with a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about. And they're all kind of teaching each other how to trade. And everybody just keeps blowing accounts. So just be careful from like who you learn from or who you listen to with regard to trading, because not everybody knows what they're talking about. I mean, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, right? The only difference with me is that I have like years and years of videos to watch or years and years of live sessions to see if I'm actually transparent or not, which hopefully I come off as transparent. But yeah, whenever you guys are learning trading or anything in general, make sure that the person you're learning from actually has some credentials or some sort of like something to back up what they're teaching. Because in the trading space, I feel like there's a lot of people who are teaching stuff, but they don't even know it themselves. It's crazy. There's so many people in the trading space. And now with YouTube, you see so many people posting now. So many people posting videos of like crazy profits or crazy consistency, but then you look at it and it's like, it doesn't make sense. All right, guys. So we don't have the opportunity that I was looking for. Price is still consolidating within this middle area. I was really hoping that price was going to break out of this range at this consolidation area, but it's not. So going back to our clean chart over here, like I said earlier, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, and there hasn't been a breakout yet. It's just consolidating back and forth. As I mentioned before, like my main goal here is not really to point out specific entries. My main goal here is really to prevent you guys from getting into bad trades, because that will help with your consistency, whether you're trading my strategy or not. I'm going to show you where it's risky and I'm going to show you what's not. Looks like that high-low scalp from earlier actually played through. So the high-low scalp from right here, guys, the one that we were following, it finally pushed up and hit its TP. It took a long time, but it did hit its TP. So this entry took 12 minutes. It pulled back right here. It did what we were looking for. So we were looking for that rejection off the, so this would have been the case. So, I mean, it kind of sucks that it ended up this way, but we were waiting for it to retrace down to the New York high, and we were looking for the divergence to swing back up, which eventually it did. And we were going to enter that late, but it didn't happen the way we wanted to because the sell signal came up right here. Again, another sell signal here. And you can see that price is actually just ranging within these two sessions here. It's ranging between the Asia high and New York high down below. So we got 10 minutes till 8. I mean, we'll continue to sit around for a little bit, but I'm not expecting much to happen. The ATR is currently at 9 right now, so it's very low. So unless the breakout happens within the next couple seconds or next couple minutes, it's probably going to stay flat. So I'll stay on a little bit closer to 8 o'clock, but for the most part, 750 right now. Divergence is shifting above. I'm just looking for that big candle. I'm looking for a big candle to push up and then maybe climb up a little bit for us to catch at least one entry here. But if not, again, today's just Monday. We have a whole week ahead of us. So we got Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We got 4 days ahead of us. There's no need to force any trades on money. At least now we have an understanding of like the market structure for this week. We're probably going to look for the same thing tomorrow. Consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout. And I'll just keep a list of this. I'll try to list everything here so that we can continue to follow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If this becomes the case on Tuesday, so Tuesday is going to be the confirmation day, right? Today is the first day of the week, so we're going to see how the market was moving. This is how it moved: consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout. Tomorrow, if this happens again, then you can expect this to continue happening for the rest of the week. So Monday is the feeler day, Tuesday is the confirmation day, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if that becomes the case, then look out for those breakouts. All right, let's see what else we got here. Nothing yet. Price is still within the range. Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks, Lorraine. Lorraine said, and you got results. Them. Yeah, exactly. Them by their fruits. Yeah, that's a key thing. So and I'm only mentioning this because a lot of people have been asking me like, hey, have you seen this person trade? Have you seen this person trade? There's a couple things that you want to look out for when you're looking for a trading mentor, right? You want to make sure that they're not just posting results. I think that's the biggest red flag. If you see somebody that's only posting results, there's no analysis behind it, there's no live trading, there's no community behind him that's actually following him, through and throughout daily. That's like the biggest red flag. So if you guys ever want, it doesn't have to be me. Like I don't have to mentor you. You don't have to learn from me or anything like that. But when you guys are looking for a mentor, make sure that they're not just posting results every day or even posting chart markups, because this is what I see a lot. And then I'll show you guys exactly how these scammers do this. They'll do something like this, right? They'll post a screenshot that they took this huge trade. And it happens all the time. It's been happening for years. And I've been in the trading space for so long. They show you a huge trade like this. And I'm sure you guys have seen this before. Everybody does this. Basically, whoever's trading group does this, right? They'll say, oh, I took a trade like this. And they send a screenshot of this. And you're like, okay, so what do? They go back over here and they take a screenshot of this first, right? This is how they trick a lot of people. They're like, oh yeah, I took a like 5-to-1 entry or a 1-to-5 entry, right? They take a screenshot of this and then they go over here and then they take a screenshot of this, right? And then they put the screenshots right next to each other and you're like, oh, this guy obviously knows what he's doing. But realistically, he just scammed you. He took a picture of what happened after and then he just hit the replay button. The good thing about now is that a lot of people actually know about the replay button. Like when I started trading like 6 years ago, this is how a lot of people scam people. They would mark up these crazy trades and then they would just hit the replay button. But a lot of people didn't know that because you had to pay for this replay button. Like, a couple years back, you had to have like a premium account to have this replay button. So I don't know, it kind of annoys me when I see people getting scammed or when I see people scamming other people falling for it. It's just super, they're basically just taking advantage of people who don't know how these tools work, especially new traders. Let's see. Yeah, CJ said the other day, Madhu mentioned entries would come up as soon as we got off of Zoom, and that's exactly what happened. I feel like it may happen today. We just need Madhu to confirm. Yeah, no, it's been happening lately because the market's been pretty slow, and it's just been the case lately. Market's been slow earlier on open, which is very unusual, and it picks up later on in the day, like around 8 o'clock or 8:30, maybe closer to 9. Like mid-market time. But again, right here, it's getting closer to 755. Like I said, if I don't see anything from now until then, I'm probably going to wrap it up. Price is just ranging between these two sessions right here. If you go over here to the clean chart, price is kind of just sitting at the 4-hour resistance up here. And it hasn't broken out. The breakout's going to happen eventually. It's just a matter of time until it does. But the ATR is so low that I'm not expecting too much to happen right now. Let's see, Nick said the breakout V3. Are you talking about the one that was right here at the sessions, Nick? I mean, I wouldn't have taken it because it was at the sessions, of course. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. There's another one that was over here. I think this one hit. Yeah. I mean, either way, I wouldn't have taken either of these right here. They're both at the sessions. So sessions right there, sessions right there. So this one I wouldn't have taken. This one I wouldn't have taken. I think this one over here is probably still running though. No, so that one right there didn't hit. This one hit, but this one didn't. Either way, I wouldn't have taken either of them because they're right there. Yeah, Angela said, "LOL, you definitely know what you're talking about, and I have to hear your voice with it." Right. CJ said, even with the most idiot traders are going to have wins. The most important thing is consistency. Yeah, I mean, that's literally what it is. Jacob said, you still have a mentorship program? So I'm not really mentoring people right now. You know, like I said earlier, guys, I'm still trading for the, I'm not trading. I'm studying for the Series 3 exam. So I'm starting a hedge fund this year. Basically, the way that the hedge fund works is I'm basically like an account manager. It's a glorified account manager. It's a hedge fund, but it's a glorified account manager. That's really what I'm doing. So like you guys have seen my profits where I post up all my wins and stuff. Like basically, like you guys can see here, I have like 21 accounts, right? I have a personal account, I have 20 Apex accounts, and I have another funding company down below. What I'm doing with the hedge fund is I'm basically we'll have to take this test and I have to get certification so that I can legally manage accounts. It's called managed futures. That's the correct term for it. Managed futures is a strategy style for a hedge fund, which is what I'm starting. So right now I don't have the mentorship going on. Jacob, once I'm done studying for that test, which hopefully will happen by like next month or the month after, by summer for sure. Once I'm done with that test, then I'll open up the mentorship again. But right now I'm not doing that because my full focus needs to be on that test so that once I finish that test, I can start the hedge fund and then I can kind of mentor people on the side. But yeah, I didn't start up the next cycle because I just went straight through with the hedge fund side of things. It's just easier. You know, when I mentor people, it's just not necessarily everybody, but like usually newer traders, they're harder to teach because you have to teach them like everything. And it's like, it takes up so much time and effort and energy to get them to that next level. So yeah, I'll let you guys know when the mentorship's available. The mentorships is probably only going to be available to like a select few people. There's going to be a few people that'll be allowed to join, maybe like up to like 20 or 30 people. But I'm going to be more hands-on with that mentorship. I want to make sure you guys understand everything. And I'll probably be open to new traders as well. So yeah, you know, I always try to give back. Trading is it's not a hobby for me. Like I like trading, I like teaching trading, I like making sure I like seeing other people, you know, become successful with trading. So I don't mind mentoring every so often. All right, guys, so it's getting close to 8 o'clock. There's no other movement here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll answer whatever questions we have left before we wrap this up. But yeah, unfortunately, there's just no entries here. Price is just going back and forth between these two sessions here. And the ATR is extremely low. It's actually a lot lower now. It's at 7. This is like pre-market ATR. So I don't recommend anybody trade during this time. Let's see. Jay said a hedge fund is a lot of work. You're going to hire people to help you. Yeah, eventually. Yeah. Well, no, for sure. Because when I start the hedge fund, I already have clients lined up. So, you know, I've been working behind the scenes locally and locally and internationally. For people who are interested in investing in the hedge fund. Of course, people have been following me trading for the past couple of years now. And all my trading, like I have credibility behind my trading, of course, because I trade live every day. And I've been trading live for the past, I think 8 years now. Every day for 8 years, I've been with you guys here on these live sessions. It's crazy, right? It's crazy how time flies. But yeah, no, definitely, Jay. I'm gonna have to hire a lot of people because I need to have like it's gonna be a legit company where um not to say that Kodi Kai is not a legit company, but I can automate a lot of things. I can just hire contractors. But for the hedge fund, there's gonna be a lot more that needs to be done behind the scenes. Uh, with opening an office and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean I haven't thought that far ahead, but yeah, my main focus. So the thing with me is like when I do something, I focus on one thing at a time so that I can get it done. So right now I'm focusing on the test. Once the test is done, then I'll start to build out the company, hire employees, get some new office space, etc. But yeah, eventually it'll come full circle, hopefully by the end of the year. Let's see, CJ's asking, will we be having a mentoring session this month? Yeah, we could. If you guys want to let me know a day. Um, I know today's kind of last minute, so I probably can't do today. Let me check my calendar real quick. So we can do Wednesday. If you guys are interested, we can do a mentoring session on Wednesday. I'll put that in the chat. So if you guys want to do that, does that work for you, CJ? Because you're the only person asking for it. If people ask for mentoring sessions, I'll do them. It's just that I don't randomly pop up for mentoring sessions anymore. But if that works for you, CJ, since you're the person who mainly asked for it, okay, perfect. So we'll do a mentoring session on Wednesday. I'll put that in my calendar. We'll do it at 2 o'clock our normal time. So 2 p.m. All right, perfect. Yeah, if you guys ever want a mentoring session, just let me know, and I'm open to just sitting with you guys for a couple hours to mentor. It's just nobody asked for it, so I never do it. And I'm not gonna do extra work when it's not asked for. So it's funny. I've always been kind of like that. Like even when I was working as an attorney, I would do the bare minimum of work so that I can trade on the side. So like when I was working as an attorney, I was like, and a lot of you guys have been here with me when I was still working as a lawyer. I'd be in my office and I'd have like another screen where I was like trading, and then I'd have my work screen. So I would just do as much work as like if that my boss would give me. I'm like, okay, you want me to work on this? I do the work real quick and I'll be trading. And I'll also be on the Telegram chatting with you guys like through the entire day. So I've always been that type of person. I've worked smart, not work hard. So if you guys ask for something, I'll give it to you, but I'm not going to be like, hey, here's a mentoring session that I don't need to do, but I'm going to do anyway. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. It's past 8 o'clock. I'm not expecting anything else here. Yeah, John said, Your Honor, you can see there was a triple confluence for my client's innocence, right? That's literally what it was. And it was funny because I had this corner office at my previous law firm on the top floor, and it was all glass behind me. So like whenever people would come in through my door, I would have to like quickly close out the charts because you guys can see how TradingView is so colorful, right? Especially with the indicators. If you would look at the glass behind me, it was like you could see the charts, and people knew I was doing stuff on the side, but it is what it is. I finally left the job like what 4 or 6 years ago, and we've been trading full time ever since. Yeah, Sadie said we want 30 straight wins, and Natasha said that's literally what she's doing right now. Yeah, Natasha's crazy. She actually trades on her phone though, so it's pretty intense how she does it. I mean, she's been killing it. If you guys have seen Natasha, big congrats to Natasha. I know she she just got funded another account right here. Yeah, Natasha just got funded last week. She's been trading on her phone. She's the best phone trader that I know personally. Like she's killing it. She always gets funded accounts, and all she does is trade on her phone at work. So here's everybody's profits for the day, guys. Before we log off, we have Kenneth over here. He logged in 1,350 on his first account, 2,700 on his second, third, fourth, fifth, and seventh account, and 725 on his eighth account right here. So he has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, about 12,000 for the day. Nice work, Kenneth. All wins. We have Andreas over here, total profit of 1,920. Great work, Andreas. We have David here, total profit of 100 for the day. Nice work, David. We have Cam, a total profit of 2,000 per account. He has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16,000 for the day. Nice work, Cam. Yeah, Cam said YM is trash today, but he's trading NQ, so he's able to make some profits still. And then we have John over here, total profit of 398. So about 400 per account. He has 20 accounts here. Let's do the math real quick. 400 times 20. John locked in about 8,000 for the day. Nice work, John. Solid work, guys. You guys did pretty good today. I mean, I didn't really take anything, but you guys were able to take a lot of trades off the analysis. You guys took some liquidity pushes here, some PRBs, breakout B3s, etc. So nice work, guys. So if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up for the day. Unfortunately, there was no official entries, but again, today's Monday. We have a whole week ahead of us. So just sit tight, be patient, be disciplined, and, wait for those entries to come. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise,